Let me talk to you about how to cash a check online instantly. Okay, so if you want to really accelerate the process, here are the steps I want you to really pay attention to. So in today's fast-paced digital world, cashing a check online is not just convenient, but often necessary. Think about it. Like if you remember a couple of years ago during COVID, people were home and you had no way to go to a bank. Banks were closed anyway. So back then, there was the need, there was the necessity to actually cash a check online. I mean, nowadays COVID is gone, but you might still have an opportunity or a situation where you cannot really go to a bank to actually cash a check, or a bank, or even a retail store. So whether you are stuck at home, on the go, or simply prefer to handle financial transactions digitally, knowing how to cash a check online can save you much time. So in today's conversation, I want to give you a comprehensive guide on cashing a check online ASAP, so you can access your funds quickly and securely. Okay. So the first thing you want to do here is that you want to understand your options for cashing checks online. So if you want to cash a check online instantly, know your options. So basically, you have mobile banking apps. Okay, there are actually three primary sources when it comes the three primary options, if you will, when it comes to cashing checks online, especially instantly. I want to insist on that, instantly. So you have mobile banking apps, you have online only banks, and you have third-party apps. Let me explain. So when you have mobile banking apps, most banks, and thank God, most banks now offer mobile apps that allow you to deposit checks directly into your bank account using your smartphone's camera. By the way, when I say bank, I'm speaking also about credit unions, okay? You also have, so besides mobile banking apps, you have online only banks. So institutions like Ally Bank and Simple provide robust online banking services, including online check cashing. I mean, those are the fintech, those are the neobanks. I mean, they come in different names, but yeah, online only banks are great too. Or you also have third-party apps. So services like PayPal, Venmo, and Ingo Money offer the ability to cash checks through their mobile apps, often providing access to funds within minutes for a fee, of course. So if you want to cash a check online ASAP, you need to understand your options. Number two, you want to choose the right service. See, the whole thing is that, of course, you are after efficiency, you are after speed, you are after, let's say, the instant gratification, that's for sure. But if you don't choose the right service, you might actually regret it. So choosing the right service depends on several factors, including speed of access to funds, associated fees, and convenience. See, the whole thing is that, of course, you can get somebody can. I mean, a service can actually guarantee to give you access to funds within minutes. But how much are they charging? Are they charging you like a ridiculously high amount? Or are they charging a decent fee? So let me give you a few top recommendations here. So when it comes to choosing the right service, you can try your bank's mobile app, you can try PayPal, or you can try Ingo Money. Let me explain. So when I speak about your bank's mobile app, for most people, the simplest and cheapest option is to actually use their existing bank's mobile app. Banks, by the way, banks or credit unions mobile app. So banks and credit unions typically do not charge a fee for this service, and funds are usually available within 24 hours. So if you can be a little patient, you should be fine, okay? You also have PayPal. So PayPal offers a feature where you can cash checks into your PayPal account, often within minutes, using the cash a check feature in their mobile app. And they charge a fee though. They charge a fee for instant access to funds, but it is a convenient option if you use PayPal regularly. Next, you can try another player, Ingo Money. So I have an entire show on Ingo. So when it comes to Ingo Money, this is an app that allows you to cash checks and have funds loaded onto a prepaid card, into a PayPal account, or even converted into a Amazon gift card. So you have that kind of flexibility there. And there is a fee for instant access, but it is an excellent option for non-traditional banking users. So if you want to really cash checks real fast, and you do not want to go through Ingo, if you do not want to go through other services, Ingo is a really reliable service, but they charge a lot. So if you want to cash a check online ASAP, you can try actually cashing a check online. I mean, let me walk you through how to get started with cashing a check online. By the way, the thing is that you have a lot of possibilities, and basically the things on your phone could be a little different. So think about this step by step as let's say as a preliminary sort of source when it comes to checking a cash. I mean, cashing a check online. So using your bank's mobile app. So what you want to do is you want to download and log in. So you want to install your bank's mobile banking app and log into your account. Again, the same instruction I'm giving you could apply to your credit union. So you can download your credit union's mobile banking app and you can log into your account. You want to locate the deposit feature. So you want to find the deposit or check deposit section within the app. Now, most banks have this section very prominent, so you can see it prominently. Okay, you don't have to look for it like it for several days, whatever. So you want to look at the deposit feature, and you want to prepare the check. So please don't forget to sign the back of the check. Okay, and what you want to do is when you sign the back of the check, you also want to write for mobile deposit only below your signature. That way, the bank knows your instructions are pretty clear. So write for a mobile deposit only below your signature. Next, you want to capture the check. So follow the app's instructions to take clear pictures of the front and back of the check. And you want to have this like done in a pretty clear manner. So take the front and the back of the check. You want to enter the check amount and submit. So, but before you submit, please verify the check's details and amount. Then submit the deposit. Now, normally, depending upon your institution, your bank or credit union, it should take 24 hours for the institution to respond to you, and ideally positively. Okay, so please keep the check. Okay, after submitting the deposit digitally, you want to keep the check. You want to store the physical check until you confirm that it has been processed and cleared. Right? Because the last thing is, imagine you actually shredded the check and then your check never went through. The digital check never went through. So if you want to cash a check online real fast, you can also use third-party apps. So when it comes to third-party apps, the process really depends on the specific third-party app that you actually downloaded. And I have a video that really talks about the top, let's say, top apps to cash checks online besides Ingo. So you might want to go and watch that show, because I'm really explaining to you all the different apps that are available, from Venmo to Zelle to all the other players. They can really help you out. Okay, so you want to download the app, choose an app like PayPal or Ingo Money, and you want to create an account, and you want to navigate to the check cashing section. So what you want to do is you want to open the check cashing feature within the app. And most apps, most third-party apps also prominently feature prominently this module, this capability. So you want to navigate to the check cashing section. You want to verify your identity, because see, the whole thing is, if you want to cash a check, the element of identity verification is really critical. And this is for regulatory purposes. It has nothing to do with the app itself. All apps have that step. So authorities want to know who you are. So you may need to verify your identity with a photo ID the first time you use the service. And you want to actually snap photos of the check. Okay. So take pictures again of the front and back of the check as directed. So it's one of those things where you make sure the photos are clear, though. Make sure the photos are sharp and nothing blurry. Okay. And you want to choose your deposit option. So select how you want to receive your money. For example, you have instant access for a fee or standard access with no fee. So standard access could be 2 to 3 days, sometimes 1 day if you have, let's say, a printed check. But if you want instant access, there is always a fee associated with that option. So be specific here, and submit and wait for a confirmation. Complete the process and wait for a confirmation that your check has been accepted, and then your funds will be deposited to the account that you have instructed them to deposit the funds to. let me talk to you about, I want to give you a few tips for successful online check cashing. So if you want to really get things done real fast and you want to get your money real fast too, ensure good image quality. I think I said this before. It has to be sharp. So when you take pictures, make sure that the images are sharp. So ensure good image quality. You want to check the app's requirement and limits. So that it's one of those things where this goes back to AML, so anti-money laundering. So those apps, because they're dealing with money, they have a variety of regulations to comply with, and they have actually baked those regulations into their processes. So when you use their app, you are going to ensure compliance with those regulations and be aware of fees. I mean, the fees are always there, so you do not want to really cash a $20 check and pay like $15 in fees. So be very careful. So when I speak about ensuring good image quality, poor image quality can lead to delays. I mean, it's one of those things where if you are expecting them to the app to respond to you within 24 hours, they might respond within 72 hours because the image is just not clear. Make sure the check images are clear and all details are readable. They have to be readable by a human, not by just a machine, okay? And when I say check the app's requirement and limits, some apps limit the amount you can deposit or cash per check or per day. So ensure that your check meets this criteria, especially for the type of check, because whether you have a printed check, whether you have a payroll check, or you have a personal check, the requirements are totally different, okay? And the fees are quite essential here. So some services charge fees for instant access to your money. Know these fees in advance, let's say to avoid surprises. On top of that, they might charge you also other fees based on the service you want them to actually provide, okay? This is not just for you to have access to your funds immediately. They might charge a lot more to make sure that you are getting the service you want, of course, but you are paying for it. I mean, time is money, right? That's the bottom line here. So let me give you other info here. So the thing is that cashing a check online can significantly streamline your financial transactions, providing quick access to funds and a convenient, paper-free process. So by choosing the right service and following the steps that I gave you a little earlier, you can ensure actually a smooth and efficient experience, okay? But the thing is that when it comes to cashing a check without visiting a bank, you have to really understand that it's all about what you want to go for. So besides all the apps that I give you, you have other services, okay? You have retailer check cashing services. You also have mobile check deposits. And finally, you have prepaid debit cards and also a check cashing stores. And finally, you have peer-to-peer payment apps. Let me walk you through some of those services here, okay? I guess what I'm trying to say here is that you have a lot of services that are really competing in this very crowded market. So what about retailer check cashing services? So many major retailers offer now check cashing services, making it convenient for customers to access their funds without a bank account. Again, during COVID, it was crazy how, the likes of Walmart, the likes of Publix, the likes of Kroger were really, really successful at, cashing checks for individuals who had no idea where they would get their money. So stores like Walmart and various grocery chains allow you to cash a check for a small fee. So you want to present your check and valid identification, and you can walk out with cash, okay? Of course, some of those stores have let's say limits, and also limits on the amount they can cash, but also the type of checks they can cash. So while cost may vary depending on the store and the check amount, this option provides a quick solution for you if you have no access to traditional banking services. So besides retailer check cashing services, you also have mobile check deposits. So embracing the digital age, several financial institutions and apps now allow you to deposit checks using your smartphone. I've said this before, I've gone through this before, but I want to make sure that you really are aware of that, okay? So whether you have a bank account or not, apps like PayPal, Ingo Money, and by the way, Brinks Money Prepaid enable you to actually deposit checks remotely by actually snapping a photo of the front and back of the check. So this is kind of cool in terms of efficiency. Okay, so after verification, the funds are typically available within a few business days, providing a convenience alternative to traditional banking. So that's really good, especially if you live in a rural area and the nearest ATM is like 100 miles away. So you also have prepaid debit cards. Okay, so another option gaining popularity is actually loading your check onto a prepaid debit card. So services like Transact by 7-Eleven or NetSpend by Visa allow you to actually fund your card by depositing checks through their mobile apps. By the way, Transact by 7-Eleven is not available nationally. You want to check your area to make sure that the service is still available. Okay. And so that's kind of cool. So if you're thinking about having prepaid debit cards, you want to endorse the check, take a photo for verification, and you want to add the funds to your card balance. With many prepaid cards offering features like direct deposit and online bill pay, this method provides a convenient and flexible way to access your money without a bank account. You also have check cashing stores. So in addition to retail chains, specialized check cashing stores cater specifically to cashing checks, and this is kind of cool because you have a service that's specialized in the specific need that you have. So this establishments, I'm speaking here about check cashing stores. This establishments typically charge a percentage of the check amount as a fee, so it's really essential to compare rates before choosing this option. So while check cashing stores offer convenience and accessibility, fees can increase, especially for more extensive checks. However, these stores provide a valuable service for those in urgent need of cash or without access to, let's say, other options. You also have peer-to-peer payment apps. So peer-to-peer payment apps like Venmo and Cash App offer another avenue for cashing checks. So while these apps primarily focus on transferring money from, let's say, from individuals to individuals, some allow you to deposit checks directly into your account balance. So that's pretty convenient. So remember that certain apps may charge fees or impose limits on check deposits. So it's always essential to review the terms and conditions beforehand. So in conclusion, cashing a check without visiting a bank is entirely feasible thanks to various convenient alternatives. So whether you prefer the simplicity of retail check cashing services, the flexibility of mobile deposit apps, or the accessibility of prepaid debit cards, there is a solution to actually suit your needs, okay? And by actually exploring those options, you can save time and hassle while quickly accessing your funds, regardless of your banking situation. So the bottom line here is that when you think about cashing a check online, I gave you the steps, and I finally told you the recap here. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.